Every single year, thousands of older adults begin to quietly feel something slipping away. Not their memory, not their physical strength, but something even more intimate, more personal, their desire. Studies show that after age 60, nearly 65% of men and nearly half of women experience a noticeable decline in sexual energy. But what's even more concerning is how few ever speak of it. Because unlike back pain, or high blood pressure, or even trouble sleeping, the loss of intimacy lives in silence. It creeps in slowly. First, a little less enthusiasm at night, then a quiet avoidance of closeness. Before long, even a hug begins to feel awkward, unnecessary, almost foreign. And yet, deep inside, the longing is still there, hidden under layers of fatigue, doubt, medications, and quiet resignation. This is the part of aging no one warned us about. But what if I told you that one simple tropical fruit, the same one you may have enjoyed in your childhood, holds powerful natural compounds that can begin to gently restore that energy? Yes, I'm talking about papaya, not in some magical, romanticized way, but through real, biological processes that affect your blood flow, hormone balance, and even emotional vitality. Let me tell you about a patient of mine. His name is Thomas. He's 72, a retired engineer. Still sharp, still active, still walks every morning. But about 2 years ago, he came to me with a look I recognized instantly. He didn't say the words. He didn't have to. He simply said, "Doc, I don't feel like myself anymore." What followed was a quiet conversation, one I've had with hundreds of men and women his age. A conversation not just about physical desire, but the sense of closeness, the fire, the gentle drive that once gave life a subtle thrill. Thomas had undergone minor heart surgery the year before. He recovered well, but ever since, something was missing. His wife noticed it too. The spark, the light in his eyes, had dimmed. He was sleeping well, eating right, no major complaints, but something was off. We ran the tests. His testosterone was borderline low. Circulation, not terrible, but not optimal. Mood, a bit flat. I asked him one question. "Have you ever eaten papaya regularly?" He looked surprised. "Papaya? I used to love it back home when I was a kid. But no, not in years." That day, I asked him to try something simple. A small bowl of ripe papaya every morning, empty stomach if possible. I explained the reasons, which I'll get into soon. But what mattered more was his willingness to try. 3 weeks later, he returned. Same quiet eyes, but this time, something different behind them. A little grin, a little light. "I don't know what's happening," he said, "but my mornings feel more alive. And my wife noticed too." We smiled. We both knew what he meant. So what is it about papaya that helps restore sexual energy at 70? What exactly changed inside Thomas's body? And can it work for you or someone you love? Stay with me, because in next part, I'll explain the actual science. How this tropical fruit gently enhances blood flow, supports nitric oxide production, and helps revive one of the most intimate energies we carry through life. But before we go there, if you've ever felt that quiet fading of passion, that creeping distance in your closest relationship, I want you to know you're not alone. And if this video is helping you see things differently, please consider sharing it with someone who may need it too. A partner, a friend, even a caregiver. You never know whose life you might brighten. Now, let's explore what papaya actually does inside the body, and why your morning routine may never be the same again. Part 2, how papaya reawakens the body's natural flow. When Thomas began eating papaya each morning, he didn't expect miracles. He certainly didn't expect that a fruit so soft, so simple, could begin to unlock something that had been dormant for years. But that's exactly what started happening. You see, papaya isn't just a sweet, orange fruit. It's a quiet healer, a natural stimulant for the systems that tend to slow down with age, especially the ones connected to intimacy, desire, and confidence. Let's break it down. One of the key compounds inside papaya is L-arginine, an amino acid that helps the body produce nitric oxide, a gas that gently dilates your blood vessels, allowing for smoother, more responsive circulation. Now, this isn't just about the heart. Better blood flow means oxygen and nutrients can reach the places that matter, including your brain, your muscles, and yes, your intimate areas. And here's the thing about intimacy after 60. It's not just about mechanics, it's about connection, sensation, feeling fully alive in your own skin. That only happens when the body's properly nourished, not with chemicals, but with compounds it recognizes and knows how to use. Papaya helps with that in 3 key ways. First one is it's rich in antioxidants, especially vitamin C and beta-carotene, which support vascular health. That means the tiny capillaries responsible for sensation and arousal can actually heal and regenerate over time. Second, papaya is full of natural enzymes, like papain, which improve digestion and reduce inflammation, including in the pelvic region, where chronic inflammation can dull sensation and suppress function. And third, papaya contains potassium and magnesium, 2 minerals that play a quiet but powerful role in nerve signaling and muscle relaxation, both essential for intimacy to feel natural and enjoyable. When Thomas started his mornings with papaya, it wasn't about fixing something, it was about feeding something. He told me, "Doc, I didn't realize how numb I'd become, not just physically, but emotionally. After a few weeks, I began noticing things again. Smells, skin, laughter. It's like a veil lifted. That veil, that fog, is something I've heard many describe. And no, papaya isn't a cure-all, but for many seniors, especially those who've lost their sense of closeness or confidence, it can be a gentle invitation back into their own body. A reminder that desire doesn't expire, that feeling wanted and wanting is not reserved for the young. It's written into your biology. It simply needs the right conditions to reawaken. So, if you're listening right now and wondering whether it's too late for you, whether you've missed the window for passion, connection, or even simple joy in physical touch, I want you to hear me clearly. It's not too late. You're not broken. You're not done. But your body may need a nudge, a bit of warmth, something to gently say, "You're still here. Let's begin again." That's what papaya can offer. Not a fix, but a beginning. Coming up, I'll share the story of a woman named Elaine and how papaya helped her balance hormones, feel feminine again, and reclaim the energy she thought menopause had taken for good. And if you're finding hope in this video, consider giving that gift to someone else. Tap share and let this message reach those who've quietly stopped believing that intimacy could still feel beautiful. Let's continue. Part 3, how papaya gently balances hormones after menopause. Her name was Elaine, 68 years old, a widow for nearly a decade. She wasn't looking for romance. She wasn't searching for anything, really. But one morning, sitting across from me in my office, she leaned in with a quiet honesty and said, "I don't feel like a woman anymore." Her voice didn't tremble. It was steady. But behind it, there was a deep fatigue, not the kind that sleep fixes. The kind that comes from slowly losing pieces of yourself, until one day you look in the mirror and see someone unfamiliar staring back. Elaine had been through menopause years ago. The hot flashes had faded. The night sweats were gone, but so was something else. She had stopped feeling connected to her own body. Touch felt distant, desire non-existent. Even her skin, once supple and soft, now felt dry, dull, almost foreign. And the saddest part? She had come to believe that was simply how aging worked. I listened. Then I asked her to try something. Just as I had with Thomas, I suggested adding ripe papaya to her daily breakfast. Not because it's exotic, not because it's trendy, but because it contains powerful natural compounds that can gently support hormonal balance, especially after menopause. Here's how. Papaya is rich in phytoestrogens, plant-based compounds that mimic the effects of estrogen in the body. After menopause, estrogen levels drop dramatically. This can lead to dryness, reduced elasticity, decreased libido, and even mood changes. But when phytoestrogens are consumed regularly, in gentle, whole food form, they can help soften this transition. They don't replace your hormones, but they whisper to your body, you're still capable. You still remember. Papaya also contains beta-carotene, which the body converts into vitamin A, a critical nutrient for maintaining soft, hydrated skin and mucous membranes, both of which play an essential role in physical intimacy. And perhaps most importantly, papaya supports the liver, the organ responsible for clearing excess hormones and maintaining balance. A healthy liver means a better hormonal rhythm. A better rhythm means fewer emotional crashes and a steadier, more natural desire. Elaine didn't notice a change overnight, but after 3 weeks, she returned with a smile that said everything before she spoke a word. Her energy was different. I started dancing in the kitchen again, she laughed. It's silly, but I feel lighter. She wasn't dating. She wasn't chasing youth. She was simply reconnecting with herself. She told me her skin felt softer, her thoughts were clearer, and most unexpectedly, she found herself missing the feeling of touch. Not in a desperate or nostalgic way, but in a deeply human way. That's what hormonal health is really about. Not chasing the past, but reawakening the present. When a woman like Elaine feels safe in her skin again, the world around her shifts. Her relationships soften, her laughter deepens, her body begins to trust itself again. And that's what papaya helped her find. Not a fantasy, but a biological truth she'd forgotten. That femininity, intimacy, and vitality can still thrive, even in the later seasons of life. In Next Park, I want to share a story that moved me even more. About a man who lived alone, had given up on love entirely, and found something surprising not in romance, but in the way papaya revived his mind and spirit. But before we go there, if any part of Elaine's story resonates with you or someone you know, please share this video. You never know whose heart you might be helping. Let's keep going. Part 4, Restoring Desire Through the Mind, the Papaya-Brain Connection. He was 74 years old, unmarried, and had lived alone since his early 60s. Not by tragedy, not even by heartbreak, just by slow, gradual distance. The kind that grows quietly between people when connection is no longer nurtured. His name was Leonard. He had once been full of life, a music teacher, deeply passionate about rhythm, melody, and the joy of guiding others. But after retirement, the silence of his home became too loud. The days began to blend into each other, and somewhere in that silence, his energy faded. He didn't complain of pain. His heart was strong, his joints were fine, but his eyes, and they were tired. And when I asked him gently about intimacy, whether he still felt desire, or even the hope for it, he shook his head with a strange sort of peace. I think that part of me has gone quiet, Doc, and honestly, I don't mind. But I did, because I've seen too many men confuse acceptance with surrender. So I asked Leonard to humor me. Try something for a month, a small bowl of papaya each morning. Add nothing else. Just that, and observe what happens. He chuckled. If it'll make me play piano again, I'm in. What neither of us expected was that the changes wouldn't begin in his body, but in his mind. You see, papaya isn't just good for circulation or hormones. It's one of nature's most underrated mood foods. Let me explain. Papaya is packed with folate, vitamin B6 and vitamin C, nutrients that play a direct role in the production of dopamine and serotonin, the very chemicals that regulate joy, connection, and emotional energy. These neurotransmitters are often depleted in older adults, especially those who experience loneliness or emotional fatigue. But when your brain chemistry begins to brighten, your whole world softens. You see color again. You feel music again. You remember the comfort of a gentle touch, and you begin to want it again. That's exactly what happened with Leonard. 2 weeks after starting the papaya habit, he called me. His voice sounded lighter. I played again last night, just for a few minutes, but it felt like someone else's hands woke up. By the 4th week, he wasn't just playing. He was hosting music circles for neighbors, smiling more, sleeping better, and one day, toward the end of our visit, he admitted something. I found myself wondering what it might be like to hold someone again, not because of lust, not even loneliness, but because something within him had reawakened, a quiet pulse of life. That's what I want you to understand. Sexual energy at 70 isn't just about performance. It's not about proving anything. It's about feeling alive, open, connected. And that feeling begins in the mind long before it reaches the body. When you nourish your brain, when you feed it the right nutrients, your spirit follows. Papaya helps do exactly that. Gently, daily, without side effects or pressure, it invites you back into the world, and sometimes back into your own heart. In next part, I'll share how to use papaya correctly to gain these benefits. What time to eat it, how much, what to avoid combining it with, and how this simple habit can quietly rebuild your intimacy from the inside out. But before we go there, if Leonard's story stirred something in you, share it. Someone out there, quietly sitting alone, might need to hear it today. Let's finish strong, together. Part 5, A New Beginning. How to make papaya part of your intimate health. So you've heard the stories. Thomas, who rediscovered connection with his wife after years of silence. Elaine, who began dancing in the kitchen again and reclaiming her sense of womanhood. Leonard, who thought the door to affection had long closed, until his fingers remembered music and his heart remembered warmth. 3 lives, 3 journeys, 1 simple fruit. But papaya is only as powerful as your willingness to give it a real place in your life. So here's what I want you to know. This isn't about adding one more supplement. It's not about chasing youth. It's about a quiet, daily ritual that says, I still care for myself. I still honor this body. I still believe in connection. If you're ready, here's how to begin. Start with half a cup of ripe papaya each morning, ideally on an empty stomach. The enzymes work better when not competing with heavy food. Wait about 15 to 20 minutes before eating anything else. This allows the body to absorb the L-arginine, antioxidants, and vitamins without interference, giving your circulation, digestion, and mood the best chance to respond. Avoid pairing papaya with overly acidic fruits like grapefruit or oranges at the same time. These can sometimes clash and reduce the soothing effect on the stomach and hormones. And don't treat it like medicine. This is food, sacred, sweet, beautiful food, offered by nature, not just for survival, but for revival. If you can, eat it slowly, taste it, feel the texture. Let your body associate it not with fixing something, but with feeding something important. And give it time, no rush. Let it do its work. In 2 to 3 weeks, you may not suddenly feel 20 years younger, but you might begin to feel something you haven't in a long time. A pulse, a warmth, a flicker of desire. You might notice you sleep better, feel more open, more at ease in your own skin, and that's the real gift. Because intimacy at this age isn't about performance, it's about presence. It's about remembering that you're still here, still whole, still capable of love, pleasure, laughter, and touch. I've seen this truth play out again and again, with countless older adults who thought the door was closed, only to find that all it needed was a little sunlight and a little fruit. So if you're watching this and wondering whether to try, I say do it. Not because I said so, but because somewhere inside you, a voice still wants to feel, a voice that deserves to be heard. If this video touched something in you, or if you believe someone you love needs to hear these stories, please share it. Let's normalize this conversation. Let's remind our elders and ourselves that intimacy is not a luxury of youth. It is a celebration of being human, and it never has to fade. Coming up next, a surprising second fruit that, when paired with papaya, may triple its effects on circulation, mood, and vitality. I'll see you there. And until then, eat well, feel deeply. Love bravely. You're not done. You're just getting started.